Hello to my fellow filmmakers. This video is for me to share my experience so that you are aware how to avoid getting exploited for the films that you have made. And this video, I'm talking about your films getting screened for an event. So how do you charge a fee for it and how you should negotiate the payment terms, and also knowing what are the exceptions. Before I start sharing all the fees and terms that I was paid over the years, I just want to share that as a filmmaker, we're not greedy people. I speak for myself and I want to be fairly treated as a filmmaker. Sometimes if there is little to no money for the collaboration, a gesture will do too, but depends on the usage. I'm going to share with you over the years how much I have been paid by organizations or government bodies through a third-party enabler, which is basically another company or organization. So in today's time, it is a creator's market, and hence I really want to share what I know so that filmmakers can avoid being exploited. I understand that some filmmakers feel that exposure is an exchange for value, especially new filmmakers who are trying to get themselves out there. On the contrary, some seasoned filmmakers think that their old films are not valuable anymore since it was made many years ago. But both, in my opinion, it is not true. So many times we feel that since our films are already available online, so why matter, right? I'm not saying what is right or wrong, ultimately it's a choice. There are no certain benchmark or gold standard to how much you should be paid. So for this video, I'm going to share how much I've been paid and what are my thought process when agreeing to have my films being picked up or get screened as entertainment for events. I'll be breaking this video down in 3 parts. 1. Usage. 2. Fees and terms. Number 3. Exposure. So at any point of time you want to skip to a different chapter of the video, you could do so. So let's talk about the first one, usage. So this just happened 8th of December 2021. A company contacted me via email asking if I'm willing to have one of my films to be screened for an event under the government. So this film was made in 2011. Okay, you can pause to read the email here. So I googled this company. It shows on the Google that the company is actually a production company. And I happen to run a boutique production company too. So let's give this company the benefit of doubt, whether they are doing all this for free. I think their intentions to bring local shots to Heartland is admirable. However, I feel whoever is organizing it have to consider the pros and cons for the filmmakers other than just benefiting the locals to watch it for free. So this is what I replied. Thank you for your interest in the film. May I know the period for the screening and the number of screen? With that, I'll be able to provide you the fees to screen the film. In the past, some of my films, including The Team, has been screened at Esplanade, Safra, with National Art Council, on different heartlands, and etc. Looking forward to hearing from you. Cheers. See, I'm asking the period. It could be 1 or 2 days. Even if it's 1 day, how many times will it be screened? Is it going to be on a loop for the whole operation day? So from there, you'll be able to quantify how they're going to use it. And I'm going to read his reply. Hi Ray, apologies, I missed your email. As mentioned, from the first email. My team proposes short films to People's Association. The selected ones are compiled together and screened at our Tampines hub. There will be 2 screenings, and they will take place in the middle of January. It's free to attend for the public, as we want the community to enjoy great local shots with their loved ones. Do let me know if you have any other queries. So he did answer my question on the usage, which is 2 screenings, and also he kind of hinted me it is free for public to attend. Hence, it is also free to get our films. I think he's not a bad person. I think he just doesn't know how to do it. So my reply to him was pretty direct, and I didn't appreciate him hinting me on the free part. Alright, you can pause to read my reply here. Afterwards, he didn't even bother to reply me anymore. He could have explained to me that his visions and the reasons why he wanted to do all this, but no, he did not. I feel if there is a bad representation from a company like this for the filmmakers, it will have a snowball negative effect in the long run. The organizations such as People's Association might see this as a reference that they don't have to pay a single cent to the filmmakers anymore in the future, because it has been done before, unless they paid the production company. If you go to this production company's website, just be wary later what sort of rights and license you wish to grant them. So as a content creator and more so for a filmmaker, you should always read the fine prints Anyway, it's another video on that. Let's assume that this production company is being paid by the government bodies. Shouldn't they budget a fee for the films? They could have leverage on their clients, which is PA for this instance, and not at the cost of the filmmakers. Filmmaking community is small in Singapore, so when I saw the films being selected, I texted one of them and asked if he was offered any fees for the screening. And of course, to my suspicion, and since the producer from the company have ghosted me after the last email I sent, so I got it right. My friend wasn't paid, and of course it's up to his prerogative to have his film get screened so that Heartlanders can watch it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you that it is wrong to get your films out there. For this instance, it feels good to know that the locals are going to watch your film in public. Plus, to certain young filmmakers, I think it helps to color their resume that the film has been screened on a certain festival or event. But it is not advisable to have a third-party enabler, such as the company that I mentioned, to misrepresent the filmmakers to the clients. Every organization have a budget, and what I can't tolerate the most is that they take filmmakers for granted. And of course, there are exceptions, which are non-profit charity organizations for a clear purpose, such as fundraising or purely for the underprivileged audiences to be entertained. For me, I'm more than willing to share my films to be screened for free at any event that will benefit for charity use. Now, let's talk about fees. And it is a small fee. If you can skip 2 meals at the restaurant, and probably you can afford to screen my films at your event. So let me share how much I've been paid by different organizations in separate occasions and usage. I was paid 200 Sing dollars for 2 of my short films to be screened in Esplanade, and it was 1 day on loop, I believe. The license rights is for OOH and event. OOH, which is out of home. I really don't think it is a lot. And I was paid $500 after discount for 5 films to be screened for a SAFRA event. Same license rights, OOH and event, but license period is for 2 days. So before discount, it should have been $2,000 for 5 films for 2 days. After discount, I only got $500. National Heritage Board paid me $150 for 1 film, 1 screening for the festival called the SG Shortcuts. The list goes on and on. And how do I know how to charge in the first place? I don't.
What?
So Objective was the first organization that paid me screening fees back in 2012. They even paid me speaker fees if I was invited to share my experience on a film-related events. Back then, I was just a young punk filmmaker. They were the ones that were doing it right by setting it straight and fair for a start in my filmmaking journey. Knowing that filmmakers need to be protected and fairly treated. On another occasion, National Arts Council paid a number of filmmakers, including myself, a fee for a longer period and event rights on the commissioned films we did for them. Naturally, you would think that, since they commissioned us with the money to make a film, they can use the film for their needs, right? But no, they were fair, and even though it was commissioned, they did not use it at their own disposal. We agreed on a period and terms that can be renewed for future use. So my point here is this: all the organizations that I've mentioned, mostly government related, they are fair and they do it right. So when I came across a new player, a new third enabler, the company that I mentioned, not knowing how to handle the best practice, I worry because it may blur the lines and mess the industry up. It all depends on how you start feeding the clients. Now, lastly, let's talk about exposure. I think there are way too many filmmakers getting exploited because of exposure. Yes, unless the exposure does benefit you instead of the organizations or the event itself. So let's assume you're not paid anything to get your film screened for an event. Are you properly credited? I'm not talking about having your poster or your artwork or just your name on their P&A, booklets, e-newsletters, those sort of things. These are artworks that help to bring audience in for their event. So are you in some way having traction back to you or the film itself? Even so, you got attractions. How can it help you? Take for example, if there is proper credit of you for the section of the event, is there a proper effort put into the marketing to promote you and the film and not just their event? Are there any tagging or crediting as a simple gesture to promote you as a creator of the film? Do not see this as a calculative, demanding request because it is the gesture behind the people wanting to use your hard work for their benefit if they're not paying you anything. It should be a two-way, not just someone asking if they can get your film to be screened for the event. So let's use a case study that I was doing a pro bono for pay to enter competition and a festival called the WTF, which is the White to Tall Film Festival. So I conducted a seminar for the festival on storytelling for free. In my second profession, I was paid hourly as a certified trainer. So why do I agree to collaborate for free It's because I find myself aligned with the festival's mission of sustainability and knowing that organizers are aiming to empower youth and content creators. So I wasn't expecting exposure because it is a small and new festival. Remember about gesture? It paid off for me in exchange for my time and expertise. It's actually through the gesture of the organizer. They created original digital artwork for all pro bono guests and put in effort in marketing and proper crediting. Plus tagging every guest they invite in their Facebook, IG posts with a backlink to us. So what is gesture? Sometimes it's not about getting paid. Let me share. A few years ago, I remember being invited twice to Sapporo and Hokkaido in Japan for 2 film festivals. They covered for all my flights, accommodations, hosted me around, and even gave me allowance when my flight was cancelled due to typhoon. And that is gesture. Conclusion, they're always going to have black sheep exploiting the industry. So someone have to share good practices. So in the past, we have to call one another to find out, hey, how does it work? I'm not going to debate with anyone on this matter because we all have different beliefs. Feel free to share your views in the comments below so we can all learn from one another. I'm not here to say what is right and what is wrong, but to give filmmakers perspective. It took me some time and courage to share this. So if you think this is helpful, give me some encouragement by clicking the like button so the platform will actually push this to more people so that more people can benefit from my sharing. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Stay united, filmmakers. I'll see you in the next video.